I'd like to call the jail committee meeting to order. Mr. Frugier?
Yes, we have a few items on discussion, a couple of projects we need to discuss tonight. I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Boudreaux. He's gonna explain two of the items that we got looking into doing.
First item is the door jams at a lot of the doors in the jail. Mr. Thomas is here with us today. He can probably kind of expand upon it. But generally speaking, the project would include repainting these door jams. A lot of the paint's chipped on these door jams. They kind of look in bad shape. And the paint that's used is a very heavy duty epoxy paint. And we could, the contractor was gonna look at doing like 2 doors a night. There's a drying time, and so you can only work so long during the night before you'd have to stop, so the doors could be used back for the morning shift. So between the paint and all the prep work and the mowing out multiple times, the total project is around $18,000. While the painter is mobilized, there is some from the previous foundation work cracks that were caulked or maybe missed in the caulking. Those would be touched up, and the caulk that was used was a slightly different color than the paint of the CMU walls. So we'd like to touch those up so that those repaired areas would blend in perfectly with the wall. So
Did it have to use some type of blower with that epoxy paint to vent it, or no?
Thomas will add to that. They have painted some doors before, and they did utilize fans. So also by painting only 2 doors a night, you minimize the volume of fumes.
Okay.
But yes, it will have to be ventilated with fans.
For security purposes and for spreading out we're gonna work like one over here in Central, around Central, which is where most of the prisoners are, and then we'll do one on the other side of the jail. We'll have a blower or 2 at each site, blowing air away from the workers, kind of letting it dissipate. The jail is set up, AC system is set up so that the building replaces constantly with 50% fresh air from outside. So, and this stuff dries pretty quickly. That's why it can be done evening and then ready to go the next day and dry to the touch.
How long is it gonna take them to complete all 59 doors? Doing 2 a night, do
Yeah.
we have a time frame?
A month
for
and a
it?
half, 2 months, yeah,
Okay.
depending on whether they work weekends or some weekends and all that kind of stuff. Yes, ma'am.
And y'all have gotten a bid on that?
That was the,
Yeah, it's in the packet.
Everything's
It's
all-
a little over $18,000. A little over 18,000.
Okay. You got any questions for him, Mr. Wayne?
No. Do we need to vote on that? Or
Yeah.
do we need to vote on it?
Need a vote on it?
I'd like a recommendation that either to put it on as agenda item or to move it to the finance committee, either or.
We can go to the finance committee meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to approve this at the finance meeting on Monday.
Motion by Ms. Myers. Second. Mr. LeBeau. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Wayne?
Second, I think we have an open discussion on new cameras for the jail, replacing the existing ones. Mr. Boudreaux has all the details on that. And Mr. Thomas.
So the current camera system is a coaxial system, which is not a terrible system, but it is older technology, and there's a lot of limitations to that. And one of the things is integrating that system with the existing camera system that the jail has expanded upon. At the jail, several cameras have been added to expand visibility and security. And the system that runs the locks only handles so many camera feeds. And so basically, when you're trying to integrate 2 separate systems, you have to split that feed, send some of the feed to the lock system, some to the camera security, and it becomes very difficult with the old camera feed, coaxial. So Thomas has been working on this for a long time. He's trying to maximize the amount of cameras and efficiency. There are some cameras that kind of were duplicated, or one camera could replace two cameras. There were some spots that cameras security is not really provided, or it's not provided well. And to enhance that at the jail, we're looking at basically completely removing the coaxial system, replacing it with all new cameras,
It's digital. correct.
digital cameras, and adding some additional cameras where needed. So there'd be two parts to this project. One would be to get with the company Cornerstone to do the integration, take in the camera feeds, and the other part would be to get a contractor to install the new cameras. So this would be, as you see, the project is, probably is over 500,000. This would be a project that would have to be bid with public bid laws. So we'd have to probably hire a engineering firm that's familiar with CCV technologies to put a bid package together. So if the jail committee would like to move forward, we could engage an engineering firm to start putting together an actual bid package.
My only question to Mr. Thomas was, on these cameras, before we move forward with it, I want to see a itemized deal with the type of warranty we have on these cameras. I don't want to go and jump into some sinking ship that.
Warranty and a maintenance
Yes,
contract,
wa-
that kind of
I
stuff?
need that in writing, a warranty
Sure.
and maintenance on that, because,
So these quotes that you have before you are really like courtesy quotes. They're, budgetary. We couldn't execute these quotes today.
right. But I'm just saying, I'd like to see that, because in the past, we've gotten stuck without bad warranties or something like that. I just want to make sure before we do go and approve. Corey and I discussed that.
Yeah, it has one sentence in here, warranty is specified, but nothing is specified.
Right, no, it's not, I read through it too, and I
Correct,
didn't see
yeah.
nothing, so, but I want
Okay.
that in detail of what warranty and maintenance.
Will do.
Now, is Cornerstone the ones that provide that, or?
Okay, so, all right, so how to explain this?
Cornerstone's the
The-
jail company.
Yeah,
Does
Yeah,
the locks.
okay. So, the cameras will all be tied into a Vigilon, which is a software package. Cornerstone has the computer control system and the door and intercom system all integrated together.
yes, sir.
When you walk up to a door and you press a button, the signal will go to the Cornerstone system, and at that point, it will call up an IP address for that side of that door and the camera that's looking down at you.
Right.
And that pops up on the guards in Central, the control center. It pops up on their screen, and they go, oh, that's Thomas, he can go in. So what Cornerstone is providing is an upgraded software package that will allow their system to communicate with the Vigilon, replacing their system communicating with their old analog system. Am I making sense?
Yes. Totally
Okay.
understand, yeah.
So, and they're gonna have to add some new hardware in there also. So there's programming, there's hardware, and then there's installation and all that. Also, our computers in Central are outdated and are very glitchy, and they're needing to be replaced, and that's also part of this package. So we're gonna get, all of this stuff will be updated completely.
It'll be all in you.
It'll all be new and, yeah, so,
So, yeah, I mean, there's a good amount of money naturally.
Yeah.
And I know nobody can predict the future, especially with AI coming and all this. Does anybody have any idea how long the shelf life of this expensive system is gonna be? Is it gonna last 3
I
years,
can-
or,
That's what we're
Oh.
looking at, that's what I wanted.
or is there possibly, can we possibly lease a system and then automatically get an upgrade in 2 or 3 years when the newest, latest, greatest comes out?
Yeah.
At a,
I can ask those questions of both Cornerstone and Red Alert, which is the Vigilon company that we presently use.
Give us some options.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, 3 years, everything new comes up.
yeah. I don't think, I think going to digital, so we're at analog right now.
Right,
Okay, well, that's
Stone Age.
20 years ago. And we incorporated that
So-
8 years ago. So we were behind the times 8 years ago. Now when we go to digital, and it'll be brand new digital cameras, as to whether or not the software in them and the software that communicates with them and all of that, those programming languages and stuff will still be, usable 10 years from now? I have no way of answering
Let
that.
me ask you a question, and it's just a common sense question. With the brand that we're getting now, how long have these been out, these cameras? Do you have any knowledge of that? Has it been out a year, 2
Well,
years, 5 years?
so a lot of that's also going to depend on availability, because like the guy from Red Alert said, all this tariff stuff, everything
yeah.
is,
Well, I totally
Yes,
understand,
yeah.
but I think
Sure.
that the committee's, what we want to know, and I'm sure Butch does, what our limitations are on purchasing and leasing, time frame on these cameras, how long have this brand, this model's been out,
Yeah.
Wayne, in my, in my past experience with, because traffic signals use a commercial industrial grade cameras, and 10 years is what,
A
you know,
window, yeah.
is really
And
what
have
we could
got any
expect
good
for.
recommendations on these cameras? Do you know other systems that use these cameras? Have they had good, haven't had issues?
That's
or
what I
anything?
want to know.
Do you
So-
know of that?
So the sheriff's department is using the Vigilant and Red Alert to do all their security and cameras, and that the system and the cameras that they use work really well. They like the software. They like the way it integrates and the user friendliness of it, the remote access. So we would like to go in that same route because it had
Right.
such success.
and
yeah, whatever they're comfortable with, but if we could get an option, like Corey said on the warranty, Wayne said on the lease, I mean, if we can lease it for half the price and upgrade in 4 or 5 years, if it needs to, rather than have to, spend the same amount of money in 4 or 5 years to re-up it. Just give us an option.
a Vigilon was just purchased by Motorola.
What's that?
A Vigilon,
It's purchased by Motorola.
was purchased by Motorola.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and we're just curious, and we want to know, I know we got opened up for bids, we got to get certain bids. I know we got a base price, and it's kind of outrageous, I would say, but probably
And if
not.
we're hiring a company has been suggested, then they also should be able to guide us in the right direction,
Okay.
beyond what
little I know about this kind of stuff.
Mr. Boudreaux?
I think
So-
everybody in the room knows we're always gonna have upgrades. It's gonna be a continuous deal,
The request I would make today would be that the jail approve moving forward with, recommend to the jury, engaging an engineering firm to come in. We'd have to pay them to assess what we got, and then to give us a formal quote to do the actual design. We wouldn't approve the design until we got the quote, but it would take a little money for them to, they'd have, some man hours to look at all the prison plans and develop some, quantities and stuff, so.
And I
Okay.
do have all this laid out, so they ought to be able to,
Thomas has done a lot of legwork
Take-
and a lot of investigation. He knows the jail very well, and I think he's really gonna make it as cheap as possible for the design.
I hope not. I hope not.
All right, so somebody want to make that motion?
I'd like to make a motion as the jail committee that we move forward to hire an engineer firm to do the assessment on the jail and regarding upgrading to our camera system.
Moved by Ms. Myers, second by Mr. Melvin Adams.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? I'll be like Butcher, can't talk.
Yeah, you get done, All right.
Motion carried.
So that'll pass. Anything else, Mr. Boudreaux?
Not that I know of. As soon as we can get this discussed and move forward on getting the bids and whatever else, I guess we need to move forward ASAP on that to get the upgrades going.
Will do.
So, just a little update, not an action item. I have a plan in hand tomorrow at the jail for the fence expansion project. So, it's not mandatory that they go, so I don't know who's gonna show up or not show up, but I've had several people already interested in that, bidding that project, so, that project will be moving along and with plans to have that project approved at next month's meeting.
Good deal. Very much needed. Anything else? Anybody got it? Jail committee guys? Marcus, Tim, anybody? Anyway, you're not on the committee? All right, need a motion to adjourn? Made by Mr. Jan, seconded by Mr. Boyd. All in favor? Opposed?